Hello and welcome to Race Tech Radio. Race Tech Radio is a weekly podcast based on racing and technology news. I'm Justin Richu, and alongside me is Yannick Martin. You can read all the stories we cover at racetechradio.com. Alright, well, now it's time for some race results, finally. After the little Daytona 24-hour thing, there wasn't much to talk about, really. And this is the case this week as well. But there was an A1GP race after the break there. So it was the results for Australia. The sprint race, Germany came in first, posting the fastest lap. New Zealand in second, France in third, and there were 2 retires. The feature race, Germany came in first yet again and posting the fastest lap. New Zealand in second again, and China in third. And there were 5 retires. So, and Canada had quite an accident, so they didn't even get to participate in the feature race. But they did come in, I think, 10th on the sprint race? I'm not too sure. Anyways, that's all for racing results. But we're not too far off the season, are we? Racing season's coming around pretty quick, so then we'll have tons of results for you.
Too much.
In fact, a little too much, because some weekends we'll have 5 different series going at once. Alright, well, we do have one race article for you. Marco Andretti is to do another Formula 1 test in the Honda. So on February 7th and 8th, which is Wednesday and Thursday, he will be racing again at the same track, Jerez, or however you pronounce it, in Spain. Last time, he pulled about 67 laps, and he was 2 seconds off the pace of Christian Clean. But this time, he won't have to get familiar with the car or the track now. It will all be about racing. So he'll have 2 straight days of trying to set a fast lap, right? So hopefully this goes well for him, because, you know, this time Mario will be coming with him, because that's what he said. Freddie's like, you know, if he goes back, I'll be going too. And maybe Mario will get a chance to drive around in the F1 as well.
Maybe. I would hope so. I hope we get some footage of that, though. That would be fun to see. Yep.
Other than that, that is all in the racing news.
I must say again that there are a lot of F1 liveries coming out, and many new cars and all, and chassis and all. But we're all going to cover that pretty much when all the cars are going to be released. And there's like, what, 2 or 3 left? There's Honda and Spiker, I think. Spiker's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, this
really?
week. Yeah, I think I heard it was this week. And, Honda is still yet to be announced, I must say.
I wonder how the Spiker is going to differ from the late 2006 season.
Yeah, I think
I kind of like that
orangey look.
Yeah, with the silver kind of like mistakably, you know, everything like, what was it, Minardi? Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Those cheap cars have always looked like other good cars. Oh well.
Yeah. So let's actually talk about this on air. I wasn't actually planning on doing this, but we wanted to kind of feature each racing series in a whole episode. So kind of talk about their schedule and who signed for what team and so on and so forth, right? I was wondering, what do you think about that, and when do you think we'll start? Because, you know, we're only a few weeks off until the racing season.
Well, it's a good idea, of course, but I think if we only cover one thing and don't cover anything else on the show, we're kind of gonna lack time.
It's not like that. It will kind of be like race results. Pretty much, we'll cover that whole series, talk about, you know, their calendar dates and their new liveries, of course, their drivers, their test drivers, and then we'll get into the news, because we are going to be rather slow for news this coming weeks. And I know everyone's released their calendar, pretty much. It's just the liveries and the signings. Has Red Bull end up signing?
Yeah. Red Bull? Red Bull's already done since last year.
Oh, right, sorry.
Toro Rosso is still unknown. We don't even know if they released the car yet or not. Because I saw one of their cars
I
on
don't-
track, but it looked pretty much the same thing as the one last year.
I don't understand why they're doing this. They said it was incentive for Speed and whoever else races with them. I don't see how that's an effective, measure to hold out on the team to not introduce the drivers and the car at the beginning of the year. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they're doing. Anyways, that's all for racing news. We'll kick that around and we'll decide what series we'll cover and when. I would like to do it before we actually get into the racing season.
Yeah, probably.
So they know what to expect.
Yeah, we'll probably, I guess, do each series like maybe the week before each first race kind of thing. Like, for example,
Yeah, that's good.
The Indies, like, in, 50 days, so we're going to do in the first week or something. I think it would be good to familiarize people with what they will see, how they will organize themselves and stuff.
Well, you see, the first race for IRL is on March 24th, and then the F1 is in Australia on March 18th. So that's the hard part, because they kind of come out at the same time. GP2 on the other hand,
the IRL is the 24th, is that?
Yeah,
okay,
and
so that's 1 week.
Before that is Champ Car.
Champ Car
comes out at April 8th.
April 8th, that's
Dude,
the next
that's pretty
week.
soon.
Wait, April 8th?
Yeah, April 8th
Okay.
in Las Vegas.
So that's okay.
And
each
Mazda
we're gonna
Star is 16th.
We're gonna have a week for each. That's perfect.
We'll try and span that out and do all the calculations off air, which
course.
would be wise. All right, well, we're into the first technology story, which is luckily the other half of the show, because without tech, luckily, this show would be nothing without the tech, because there's no racing. We would probably have to take an off season, kind of like the racing series.
Yeah, we're like 5
right.
minutes in, and we have already everything done.
All right, first news article of the day having to do with technology is a peer-to-peer PVR. The company NDS that does the PVRs for DirecTV announced on January 29th that they'll do 2 different DVRs. One will be a distributed DVR, which allows users to use the hard drives on the home network. So you could have a bunch of computers set up, kind of like the Apple TV, right? You would have a network of hard drives, and then you could download, well, I guess you would just use it streaming from each computer. So you don't have to have all your content stored on the one DVR. I think that's great, because, how big are those hard drives really?
Yeah.
So you're best to have, if you have 4 computers, all 200 gigs, you can store a lot of movies and you won't have to stress one hard drive of space. I think that's a brilliant idea. And the second one is the Share TV, where the users can share their stored content on their PVR with other subscribers over a P2P network. And apparently this is the first peer-to-peer PVR. So it does have DRM, so it's only available to the other subscribers of the IPTV service. But this is great, because think of, I love Top Gear. I don't get Top Gear. I sometimes get it on YouTube. This way I could subscribe to this and get someone over in England that has BBC Two. I can watch Top Gear now. Right?
Yeah.
And like the USA Network in America, they show the 4400. Well, I don't get the 4400, which is an awesome show, right? So this is great, because it's kind of like legally sharing TV. It's a little like a Joust, which is also exciting. But this you can watch on your TV, which is great. So I think this is great. If I could get my hands on one, I would totally subscribe to it, because that's what I like, because Canada TV sucks.
Yes, it does.
There's hockey, there's corner gas, there's I like The Hour. The Hour with George Stropolopoulos is good. I do enjoy that show. But other than that, Canadian television really sucks. So the most of our television up here is American TV that dribbled down into Canadian streams.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be good because now I can see all the shows I don't get to see. It's kind of like a Slingbox idea, right? How Slingbox you can watch live TV or whatever's in their PVR, I believe. So this is great. Awesome. I'm very excited about this. Would you use such a product like this?
Probably if I watch TV a lot more than I actually do.
Yeah, you don't watch a lot of TV.
No.
But is that because of the programming, right? Maybe you can't
Probably.
watch,
If there'd be a lot more shows and things that would actually be interesting, maybe I would watch a bit more. But
dude, there's a lot of shows out there that kick ass. It's just when they're on. See, that's the problem. You have to watch it live, or else you have to tape it. And if you don't have a PVR, then you're pretty much screwed. You can't follow a series because you have to depend on being at the TV at that time. Kind of like in the olden days when they all gathered around and watched, the Tonight Show. Anyways, next story.
yes, it's also in the field of the PVRs and DVRs. Motorola actually announced one of their boxes too, which is actually an HD DVR. It's the Motorola DCH3416. Quite a long, stupid name, but
yeah,
there are a few things that are actually good in this box. Like it actually supports the HD, which is a good thing since it's a technology that's actually growing more
has
and more.
HDMI output,
Yes.
so that's awesome.
That's good. It's got, in my opinion, quite a big hard drive, especially compared to the other ones there. 160
Yeah, but it is
gigabyte.
HD.
I know.
It's HD content, so that's like, what, a gigabyte every 6 minutes?
Yeah, but I don't think you only have to be like HD on there.
Yeah, that's true,
It's
but it has the
HD
capability
capable.
of recording.
Yeah.
But a lot of sporting, that's all in HD.
Yeah.
Anyways, go
on. It also supports the multi-stream cable card, or M card, which is...
That's awesome, because now you can record multiple shows at the same time. Brilliant.
Great stuff. Especially for... Also, well, it's for the American stuff there. They need that to run those DVRs over there. So, kind of strange stuff, but...
Yeah.
Anyways, it also works with the Motorola's Follow Me TV, one of their consumer home things that I don't even know what it is actually. I never heard of it.
Well, that's too bad.
Did you?
Yeah, me neither. No idea. Should have wikied it. Oh well.
Yeah, well, I tried, but there was nothing actually on it, except to say that it was a
that's too bad.
Motorola consumer thing, product, whatever.
Nice.
So that's good thing. There's a few connectors for like FireWire, USB, Ethernet, so that's good things.
Yeah. I'm glad they have FireWire, but what are you gonna connect that to, really?
Yeah, Max, I guess.
I wish FireWire was as popular as USB 2.0.
Yeah, well, Apple uses a lot of FireWire, but Apple's not all that.
That's why I think we should switch to Mac. Love FireWire, so fast.
Yes. For some reason, they don't adopt it.
I know. Some printers did. Printers had a few, but
yeah, but how many
never caught on.
computers? How many computers actually have FireWire plugs?
Oh, it's hard to come by. You would have to, a lot of Sony DV camcorders, they have FireWire, but again, it's finding a computer that has FireWire.
Yeah.
I believe you can put your own port in there, but that's only for the hardware savvy.
So,
anyways, is that all for that story?
pretty much.
I wouldn't use it because I don't have a cable card. I don't even have digital cable. I have the analog, I guess you would call it, so you just plug it into the TV. So I don't see the big need, but the thing that's great about it is the size of the hard drive.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know how big Xbox 360 hard drives are? 50 gig?
Well,
something
quite
like that?
big. You can add the extensions and shit. There's those
Yeah.
special editions, but there's a new version of the Xbox coming out soon, too, that have bigger hard drives, better processor and shit like that.
Oh, so just upgrades.
Yeah.
Kind of like the second gen 360.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I remember when they updated the old Xbox. Mine died, which is a shame, but that's my own fault. Anyways, that's all for that. If you're in America, this would be a great solution for you if you need one that's compatible with the M card from Motorola. So, also it has HDMI, so I'm not sure. See, I don't think anyone really records in 1080.
Well, the TV actually...
I think 720.
Do most TVs actually get, like, TV channels show 1080? Probably not.
Yeah, they support it,
yeah,
but no one actually produces 1080.
Except for maybe, like, the Super Bowl and stuff like that.
The Super Bowl. Yes, the Super Bowl. What a ridiculous sport that is.
Well, yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. You know, I went to the Grey Cup last year. That was fun, but, you know, Super Bowl just not interesting. And especially seeming that we, Canadians, don't get the commercials from America.
That sucks.
So
even if you tune into the American channels, it's the Canadian overlaying thing.
Yes. We
global.
get the Canadian Tire commercials and crap like that. I saw a TV Tropolis ad, though. I was like, hey, that's awesome. But they were promoting Seinfeld. I don't think that's their main star, right? Because everyone plays Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I think one of their key things would be, you know, Beverly Hills 90210. They should pimp that. Be like, dude, come watch 90210 because that show kicks ass.
Well, maybe they did that on Super Bowl, like, 12.
12. I don't think they were around back then.
Well,
Super Bowl 12. Anyways, next story. Zune Under Pressure. That's me that came up with the brilliant title. The Zune call center have received a lot of reports that the Zune has had a cracked screen for no apparent reason. So the screen, you wake up one morning, it's cracked. You're like, what the hell? What they say might be the problem is the lithium-ion battery, which is it's behind the screen up at the top half, and it's expanding and overheating. So pretty much it puts pressure on the screen and it cracks. So Microsoft is saying it's outside the warranty. It's outside of the warranty. So you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, well, we know how those companies are with those warranties. They barely cover anything.
I know. Warranties are such a farce, but this should be covered. That's a factory default.
Yes.
It's not their fault that they put the Zune on the cradle, on the charger, and they left it overnight and it now no longer works. Like, this is going to push people to the iPod.
Oh, definitely.
They were a first runner. They bought a Zune. They were most likely happy with it. I've heard very little things that were like, oh, the Zune sucks, other than Leo Laporte's little DRM speech. But really, you can just export it in like AVI. There you go, it works.
Yeah, but the
It's
Zune,
not too much work.
Microsoft just seems to try to so much push the Zune into the market and thing that's just like coming back and slapping them in the face.
Especially that they're not covering this.
Exactly.
It's not like cosmetic damage. This is serious. If you can't see your screen, you cannot play your music.
But did they
unless you like randomly.
But did they announce anything that they're gonna like start covering it or like recall or try to change things?
They didn't even announce that was the problem.
Wow.
They've been receiving a lot of calls, and someone in the lab was like, you know what it probably is? The same shit that happened to Toshiba and Dell, how the batteries are expanding and crap, right? That's most likely what it is.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hurt them, because you see Apple, for example, when I got my Nano in the first place, it was really the first gen, because I kind of bought it the first day it came out. And, those, it kind of had a plastic more cheap than like it currently does. They say it's like all high quality and shit, but it became scratched so quickly. It was incredible. I couldn't even see the screen anymore. And they say how cosmetic shit is like not covered and stuff. But I was able to get mine replaced anyways because they played around with their contract thing, and they say like you can't change things unless it like stops the functionality of the thing. And I said, oh, it stopped the functionality because I can't see the screen and shit like that. And I got mine replaced. But they did something about it because they increased how the plastic was. They increased the quality of the plastic, and they made a thicker layer of the plastic so it would be less scratchable. And they've added cases in the new ones that they'd be selling. So at least they've done stuff. But if Microsoft doesn't even, if they deny this thing and don't even do anything about it, that's kind of stupid.
Oh, for sure. It's going to push people back to the iPod.
Yep.
Pretty much. So now you have a second gen Nano, right? They replaced it with a second gen?
No,
or they just
it's
fixed
still
yours?
the first gen, because the second gen is like the mini ones.
With
the colors, which is something I totally hate. Because when the Nano came out, I was like, "Oh yes, finally they're making them back like an iPod should be." And then they released 1 year after that the second gen, like the fucking minis again. And I'm like, "What? They killed it again." But anyways,
yeah, I know.
So it's like
the Nanos were nice.
Yes,
they looked really nice, and now they just look like a smaller mini.
Exactly. But
Ridiculous.
I have like a Gen 1.1 kind of thing. They just gave me a better one, that's all.
How soon into you owning it did it get all scratched up?
About 2-3 months. It was crazy.
Wow.
But now
now it's perfectly fine?
Yeah, well, I bought a little kind of rubber case there to put it in, and it's simply perfect. Each time I take it out of there, it's in perfect shape. The back is still like shiny like a mirror. It's crazy.
Yeah, I heard you can buff it if you want. You can buff it, or
but
even use toothpaste if it gets too many scratches.
Really?
But you have to watch out because the different, whatever they're called, I don't know. I don't know. Grittiness. I don't know. The different, sandpaper grain, different. I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's just say
don't use sandpaper on your iPod.
Well, don't use the big buffers either. That would be crazy.
It's dangerous.
But wear goggles if you do.
Yeah, just put it in like a clasp or I don't know, a vice.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't think today. Anyways, speaking of iPods and such,
random.
Yes, it was. We kind of went off on a tangent, but that's good because the show's going to be so short. We may as well talk about something.
Why not?
All right.
So,
your story.
Yes, so I'm still kind of following up on the Apple side while we were talking about the Zune. While the Zune is having problems, Apple released last week new versions of their iPod Shuffle, their little mini thing that kind of plays a lot of music. That thing is
1 gig.
Yeah, it's 1 gig. It's not that big. Like I have a 4 gig Nano, and that's like just too small. But 1 gig, it's not a lot for those who want all their music, but for regular people who just listen to always the same music and that don't listen to all that much, it's a great little thing, and it's so small, it's crazy.
Well, you can swap it out, right? Resync it, but it's only 1.62 inches long.
Oh, it's crazy. It's like
for 240 songs. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't really like it because I like my MP3 player to have a little beef to it. That's why I liked mini discs so much, because it was a beefy tank of a thing.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it, because I could put it in my pocket and I would know it's there. I don't want to clip it onto my shirt. Like, it's not a fashion accessory.
I don't know if actually people do that, but it's innovative in some way.
Very prominent in their commercials, though. They really show you.
But their size is incredible. They've done something great with that. And, well, actually, anyways, back to the original story. Apple made the iPod Shuffle like the new iPod Nanos they introduced last fall. They've made it all colorful, like the minis and shit. So they've added, instead of the original silver color, they've added 4 new colors, that being pink, green, blue, and orange. So just to make it a little bit more colorful and more fashionable, as you said. I like the orange color. Kind of makes it different from the others.
Yeah, I like the orange.
I'm surprised.
Looks a little red.
Yeah,
but
I'm surprised there was no black release.
Yeah, well, they would have to charge an extra $100 for that.
Why?
What?
Why?
Why? Did you ask why?
Yes.
Because everything in black from Apple costs $200 more.
No? What?
Yeah.
Well,
Dude.
the Apple Nano Black is more expensive simply because it has more space than all the others.
That's packaged with the paint job. Same with the MacBook Pro. If you want black, you have to shell out more money.
Now,
sure, they give
yes,
you a
but
little
usually
more.
you could get the MacBook in whatever color you wanted for the same price.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
See, that's the thing.
Same thing with
I
the regular
like
video
Apple,
icon.
but I don't check their site every day.
Oh, well, I do
I think
every
you
week.
check it quite frequently.
Well, once every week to see if there's a new launch of something.
Once every week.
Why
That's
not?
not too obsessive.
Nah. But
Yeah.
once I'm there, I look at it for like quite a little while just to be sure. But
I have to
yes.
examine every single place. That's funny. That's
Yes.
funny. All right. Well, next story is also yours.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. Electronic Arts of Japan, or EA as short, has released a first trailer and footage of one of their new games they're going to introduce for the Nintendo DS, that being of a SimCity game. Well, it works like a usual DS game with a stylus, which is something quite good. It seems a much more interesting user
Whoa.
kind of way to play it. But I watched the
Yeah.
trailer on the site that is obviously linked on our website. Though it really kind of my expectations when I saw the title and all, I was like, oh man, wow, SimCity on DS. If it's really cool, I could maybe buy a DS because those are getting really cheap now, and just to play that game. But first thing, I watched the trailer and I was like, what the hell? It looked actually almost more horrible than SimCity 2000. It's like between the original SimCity and SimCity 2000. It's crazy.
Somewhere in that origin. Well, that's really disappointing because when you think of it, the DS, I haven't seen a whole lot of games firsthand with the DS, but I have seen the PSP. And PSP with Metal Gear Solid,
the PSP
the
is
newer
awesome.
one, and same with SOCOM, that looks as good as PS1. Why can't DS
Well,
step it up?
I don't know. The
Is
DS
it EA or is this DS itself?
I think it's DS. They've made maybe the DS not powerful enough because all the games that seem to be released for the DS are like cheap little games. I don't know. They've made it too comical as a little console thing. Like the game,
Nintendo.
Yes, the Game Boy looked better than that. Like game wise.
That's a stretch.
Yes, but
That's a stretch.
I mean
Game Boy Color, at least.
Yes, but like the best Game Boy, okay? Compared to the games that kind of was there, the Game Boy had sometimes better graphics than the original Nintendo because it was at least in like almost 3D. It was almost like the Super NES, but and then you compare the PSP to the PS1, but then you look at the DS and it's like it's as worse as the first Nintendo again. They've made no evolution.
It falls short. I think they put too much emphasis on the touchscreen that they forgot about the actual. They could have put a huge processor down there.
They could have done much
And,
better than they've done.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you were all excited about this. You love the SimCity.
Oh yeah.
And this would be a great chance for you to
It would have
play on the bus or whatever.
But it really kind of discouraged me there. And well, also it's just released for Japan so far, so no US release, no world, Canada or shit like that.
The interface looks nice though.
Yeah,
I like how you have the bird's eye view. And
nice, simple.
That's kind of cool.
But there are some things that are like, I don't know, like you can help Santa drop the presents and stuff, and then you have to shoot on the giant ape trying to ruin your city, like shoot stuff.
I remember in SimCity 2000 how you could get aliens to attack.
Yeah,
and stuff.
but the difference is that one too has that, but it's more interactive. but in my opinion, in a too comical way. So like the alien comes and he's trying to get cars out of the street, and then you're like trying to push the cars out so they don't get sucked in, and then the ape comes into your city, and then you're trying to shoot it with your stylus and stuff. I don't know.
Shoot it with your
Really?
stylus.
Do you watch that?
Well,
trailer?
at least they're using it.
Yeah,
no, I didn't.
but it's funny stuff. It's worth a watch.
I'll check it out.
Worth
Just
a laugh.
definitely no US version either.
Yeah.
So it's not even coming here. So I've been playing a lot of the Lin City, which is the Linux SimCity.
How good is that?
And that's fun. The graphics aren't too bad. I wouldn't say they're as good as the most recent SimCity, because that's like really intense. Like you don't control the traffic or anything like that. It's not bad, but I don't like how the population dies so fast, because I like to build my farms, and then I like to build this and then bring the people in when I have a stabilized economy. But no, they just let people died. You have to restart. The problem with Linux was my graphics card. I never installed the drivers for my graphics card, so everything was so laggy, and it was terrible FPS. And finally, I installed the drivers, and now I'm confident that I could play, LFS using Wine. But still, I don't know. I tried it. I tried True Combat, and the FPSs weren't there. Really? I was getting like 60, and then down to like 30 when there was action.
But there's no way you could try to fix that?
I could. I'm sure there's a bunch of shortcuts in Linux where you could, put but I don't want to ruin my desktop just to own noobs. I won't give them the satisfaction.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all for that story. I would definitely try it out. Yeah. I don't think I would buy a DS just for that, because I don't see any other use for a DS for me. Yeah, I know Brain Age is a big popular game for the DS, but I don't know. I've never had a big appeal to the portable gaming. When I want to game, I'll sit down and game. Really. All right. Well, next story. Darwinia updates for Vista. Now, this is sadly you've never played this game, which is a shame. I know you're a pirate, so you should just go get it. Even though it's what? Even though it is an indie game maker, so you should maybe support them. But the other games they've created that you may know. Do you remember Uplink? Uplink, it was like a little hacker game, right? You remember that game?
Maybe not.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, anyways, it was very popular. Another game you might know them from is DEF CON, which is awesome. Do you remember the movie War Games?
No.
War Games. You don't know what War Games is. War Games.
Doesn't ring all that much a bell, but go on.
Doesn't ring a bell?
Nah.
You remember, do you want to play biothermonuclear war? No? In that scary-ass voice? Anyways, it's pretty much like that, where you plan out how the world is going to, Russia's going to launch their nukes, and then you're going to counter with this and all this, and that's the idea. So it's pretty much it's kind of like Risk, but it's not territory, it's with weapons, so it's whoever dies first, I guess. And their other game is Darwinia. They're also making another game now, which I don't know if I would use it. It's like this virtual city thing. It's kind of like SimCity, but it builds those cities itself, so I'm not sure. Anyways, Darwinia is making headlines, of course, because they're upgrading it for Vista. So now it's going to be using DirectX 10 instead of OpenGL. So that will it will enhance the visuals, because
I hate OpenGL.
Hatred.
Oh yes, because it's just uncompatible with the original video card drivers, and then you have to find all those drivers, and then it fucks up all your stuff. And oh man, I had to do that once when I tried a game, and I was not happy.
I can see how you would be, because you have your video games all set up how you like.
Yes.
Anyways, it added support for the 360 controller, right? You showed me the Xbox 360 controller for the PC now, so it's compatible with that.
That's great.
And 3 new levels: Jailbreak, Stronghold, and Doomsday. Other Vista compatibility features as well. And it will also be added to the MSN Vista games, so like you can buy it for $19.99. It's kind of like a game store. So that's good. Darwinia was a great game. I really enjoyed it. It was a very unique game. It's all about it's hard to explain. It's like its own little world in a computer, but then the computer gets a virus, and now the user has to help the Darwinians kill the virus. But it was very cool. It was a great looking game. It was kind of like cannon fodder. Anyways, that's a great game. Check that out. That's from Subversion, which they're great independent game makers. Love their stuff. Definitely check it out. That's a shame you've never played it though. You should check that out for sure. Alright, next story. Now, I believe it was last episode, right? I told
I think it was.
the people that I would probably, well, I think I was more along the lines of saying, yes, I will be doing a best of what the hell. Well, after a week or two, I realized it just wasn't going to happen. They have put out so many. They did 3 hours every week for 2.5 years. So that's a lot. That's hard to do because I would have to listen to them all, mark where the best points are, and then edit it. So it's just a lot of work, really. And in the end, it's going to be like 2 gigs of audio, and who's going to listen to that, right? So, anyways, I'm like, you know what? I'll scrap that. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing a DailyNoise Sloppy Seconds. Now, DailyNoise is a show that I listen to every day, 5 days a week, at DailyNoise.com, of course. And it's an internet radio show. And it's an entertainment show, a variety show, you could call it. And so pretty much every week on Friday or Saturday morning, there will be Sloppy Seconds available. So it will be the best moments from the past week. So the past 5 days will be wrapped up into one and available at DailyNoise.com in the archive section. So that's great. Also, what they're doing is when you click listen and they're not on the radio live right now, they will play the past episode of Sloppy Seconds. So you'll get like the week in review, and then you'll listen to the actual live episode. So that's really exciting for me. Were we going to talk about Adobe?
What did they do?
Oh, we were. Right. PDF opened. Whatever that means, right? But we were going to talk about how we love Adobe so much. Yeah, we were going to talk about the PDF being open, which that doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Just use Faucet Radio. You'll be fine. We were pretty much going to talk about Adobe, your favorite company. You have spent so much money on their software. It's unbelievable. Like, I can't believe. So, but that's because you are a modern day Renaissance man. You do
really?
audio, video, you do still images, you do everything, right?
Yes.
So you need the full Adobe suite. So you had to shell out how much it was. But anyways, Adobe. What are your favorite programs from Adobe?
That's a good question. Right now, I don't use all that much as I used to. I did use
You used to be a big fan of the Photoshop.
Yeah, because I've been a graphic designer in the past, maybe like a year or two ago. Before I started actually LFS and stuff, because that totally killed the thing. But I used to use Photoshop a lot, and right now I really use Audition to make this show actually, and sometimes Premiere Pro for video stuff. But right now I mostly use the Macromedia Studio now because it's just more simple. I use that to make websites like through Dreamweaver, and I use mainly Fireworks because I find it's easier to work with to make logos, simple graphics and vectors and stuff like that. So either way, it's still Adobe in a way because Adobe bought Macromedia I think like 2 years ago for some crazy ass price. But it's great programs they do. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very good at the pictures, doing the pictures on Photoshop or what have you, but I do feel home to Fireworks because it's just so comfortable for me. Like that's the downside of being on Linux. I have Audacity, and I have the GIMP, and the GIMP I just can't. I can't use it. It's not comfortable at all. Where Fireworks, I could do exactly what I wanted when I wanted. I knew where everything was. It was home to me, pretty much. But the GIMP, I just can't get. I can't do it, and I hate it.
It has a strange interface. Well, it has this interface that looks kind of similar to the Photoshop interface, but more.
Yeah, how it breaks off in 3.
Yeah.
I didn't like that because then I would have to always open up the layers tab and then I hated that. But Photoshop was never my friend either. But then again, I'm not that good at graphics.
Yeah, well, Photoshop is a
really
more complicated program, that's for sure.
Yeah. And Audition, which I use for the DailyNoise sloppy seconds, is so much better than Audacity. I don't know what it is about Audacity. Like you can zoom in so you can cut specific parts out, but it's not as easy where Audition you just scroll your wheel.
Yeah, but Audacity is a basic kind of program for like just those who kind of work for it. It's like Windows Movie Maker compared to
it is
the other one from Adobe. But you see, Audition Premiere is a lot more pro than any other programs because it just has so much capabilities and options and stuff.
Yeah, I just love it. I've had so much fun with it, and looking back at Audacity, it's just I don't know. They just need a few tweaks and it will be easier to use. And that's all I really want. I just want it easy. I don't want to have to click on the magnifying glass to drill in, and then click on the minus magnification.
Well, there's probably some hotkeys there, but
I'm sure there is. But I don't want to bind keys and crap like that. I want it to work. But we do use Audacity to record this.
It's much simpler.
It is. It's very straightforward. You know. Other than that, that's about it about Adobe. I heard the new Fireworks is in beta, so that's good. So they may not cancel it too quickly.
Yay.
But yeah, that's a huge yay because I love Fireworks compared to Photoshop. So anyways, you know what? I guess that's all for this week.
Yep, pretty much.
We're averaging around 45 minutes nowadays.
But that's simply
again with no
so
news.
little racing news these days. It's crazy. But we're probably gonna boost it up a lot more when the season starts. In a few weeks from now.
There's a lot of testing going on.
Oh yes. Well, yeah. With so many things to talk about when the liveries are all gonna come out, and when they're actually, when these seasons are actually gonna come out.
Very soon, though. Very soon. And once that is, once that the seasons have started, we'll be covering a lot of series. A1GP for now, right? That's the only real form of racing we have at the moment. Formula 1, of course. IRL, which is probably your favorite, right? You're a big fan
well,
of the IRL.
I'm a big fan mainly of F1 in the first place, but I'd say really IRL is the other the other biggie after that.
Yeah. And then Champ Car, which hopefully you get a fair bit of races this year.
Yeah, let's hope.
And GP2, which I really enjoyed watching last year, because they can really tuck under the gearboxes and they're so close, unlike Formula 1. So that's what I really like. And they follow Formula 1 around track to track, so that's also enjoyable. And the Star Mazda series as well. So, and of course, Devin Cunningham will be racing for AIM Autosports in Star Mazda. So I will have to be watching that. You don't have it, but see, this is where the P2P DVR would come in handy.
Yes.
You know, we could share the videos. That would be awesome. Anyways, that's all for this episode of Race Tech Radio. If you have any comments or questions or what have you, you can email us at racetechradio@gmail.com. You can also contact us through our contact form at racetechradio.com. And that's all for now.
Bye.
Bye.